Hey, what's up, cadre? Cruise from the Caribbean, Bahamas. Shave from the Bahamas today. I think I mentioned I was going to do a video, kind of the differences between the last ship we were on and this ship, because until not very long, there's only 4 sailing ships with Disney. 2 are what they call the classic ships, the smaller ones, and then 2 are their bigger ones that are the Dream class. So we're on the Dream right now, and the Dream and the Fantasy are bigger than the other 2. So I don't know. We'll see. I forget what I said on that first video. So some will be about the differences, and some will just be about more Disney cruise stuff. So last video, we probably saw straight out to the ocean. We're higher up in the ship this time. We're on deck 10, and right above us, deck 11, is where the pools are, and the buffet, and all sorts of other services. So you get this metal superstructure that comes out here. I was gonna see, there's some places where there's a little window. They've got hot tubs up there that have windows where you can look down into the ocean. And then this bar here is just, so they've got equipment that they slide along there and up and down to wash the windows, wash the balconies, do maintenance, stuff like that. So the biggest difference on the bigger ship is they're bigger. I think a few more floors, a lot longer. This is where I remember you get on, especially when you're on a level where it's just staterooms, and you get on one end and you gotta walk to the other, and it's just like put down your head and trudge, because it takes a long time. But they still have 3 main dining restaurants. Still work things the same way, where you get told what your rotation is between the 3 restaurants, and your serving crew goes with you. So you get to know them, they get to know you. There are more pools on this ship. I think 5-ish. I say ish because so they've got the main family pool, and then close to it is the Mickey pool for little kids. It's really shallow and shaped like a Mickey. And then there's a pool in the adult area just for adults. And then so I guess the 2 things I'll concentrate on in this video is if you have older teens. We went and toured, I think you have to be 15, you have to be at least 14. It might be 15 is the cutoff, called the Vibe. And it's interesting, on this ship, it's not easy to get to. You have to know where it is, where you walk outside, down kind of inside the front of the ship, and up these stairs to get to it. But it's super cool. I'm gonna be posting pictures over my shave right now of the Vibe. As I mentioned last time, there's no casino, no library on the ship. They take half of one level just for all the other kids clubs. They have a nursery that costs per hour, and then they've got the smaller kids, and then like middle, probably I guess like grade school, and then there is a teen lounge, which I don't know, you have to look up the ages, probably like 12 to 14 or 15, wherever the cutoff is for this other one. And then this is older teens up to, as soon as you turn 18, you can't go in anymore. And they take the ages really seriously. Like if you get on and you have your birthday, during the cruise and turn 18, this one you have to use your room key, basically the card, to get into it. So parents can't get into it unless it's open hours. And then once you turn 18, your card's not going to work on that thing. But here, take a look at these pictures, because they have huge areas. They've got one kind of stage sitting area where they do karaoke. They've got another area where they've got foosball and free video games. It's kind of sitting areas. And then they took what used to be the staff pool. They probably moved where the club was altogether. And then they have a private outside area that's just for this club. So they've got a pool to themselves, an outdoor sunning space, and that's pretty cool. So one of our girls really took to going there, hooked up with some friends. They have an app you can use online that tells you the activities and stuff. Then you can also text other people on board. So they made a big group chat of a bunch of the kids in that thing so they can hook up and watch shows together or what have you. So pretty impressive. So, and I guess that's kind of the main thing I'll say about being on Disney. Disney is all about production value, right? Their movies and their parks and all this stuff, they're really super detail oriented. So you can imagine what the other kids clubs look like. The styling is much more involved than the teens club, and huge and full of counselors that are doing activities. And so the other stuff, what's bigger? This one has putt-putt golf on the top. I'll post a picture of that. Not a big deal for us, but that's pretty cute. It does have more adult lounges. So that's the tough part. We don't have little kids, so I'm not going to be talking too much more about stuff to do for kids. But similar to the other smaller ships, they have an adult area. And while the two big and two small ships are the same physically, they're themed a little bit different inside. So the adult spaces they're not mirrors of each other. They look a little different. So this one has one lounge where they do most of their game shows and stuff, one where most of the live music takes. One that's more of a pub where they're doing the trivia. They've got one that's called Skyline. It's basically just for chilling and having cocktails if you want, where the images behind the bar are of the skylines of different cities that change throughout the time. So you can see that. The other big difference is the smaller ships have one adult restaurant, which I believe is, quote, the more casual of the two. You still can't go in shorts and stuff. But then this one has a second adult restaurant that does require a coat. To get into. And then it has a lounge between the two, which we're going to. One of the two has brunch on sea days. So this is a sea day for us, and we are going to brunch there. So the lounge should be open. And off of that lounge, there's two outside balconies. It's at the far aft, the back of the ship. And they sell cigars there. So if you wanted to have a cigar, one of the balconies, you're allowed to go out and have a cigar on. Other things that are different, the theaters are bigger. There's one production theater. On the smaller ships, it's one level of seating. On this ship, there's a balcony. You enter in from another level. And again, just with the detail and the production value of Disney. I mean, it shines everywhere, but that's one place. We got Beauty and the Beast was the main show on this ship. Something else they do is each one of the ships has a different main big production show. Although they do have more than one show, of course. For the most part, except for Pirate Night, there's a big show going on there each night. And then I showed you the fireworks last time. I'm gonna link to, I did a video of the whole show this time, so I'll link to that, at least in the description of this. I don't think I've ever linked to another video. That's pretty cool. Again, the only cruise line that does fireworks at sea. What did I dry off? I still got to do, see, shaving with the water bottle and talking and stuff. I get out of sorts. Excuse me, but you know, like I said, you can think of the Disney production value in everything they do. On Pirate Night, I think I might have mentioned this in the last video. All the background music in the elevators and the hallways turns into pirate music for the day. They give you a red pirate bandana. Some people dress up to the nines in pirate regalia. Then they have like pirate crafts and pirate trivia, culminating at the end with a big show out on deck, fireworks, and then like a dance party, primarily for the kids after that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention, because before we did talk about a lot of the what's different about Disney. It's funny, you can see we're not hardly even moving. This might have been true on the last cruise, is that we didn't go too far away from Florida, so to make a sea day, they just kind of have to crawl their way back, which is funny, but it gets it in for people that like sea days like myself. Super enjoyable. We've been lucky with the weather. This, you can see a little ripple in the ocean. That's actually a little bit, it was almost like mirror, I think as close as you could get to mirror finish yesterday. Just beautiful. It's just, if it wasn't quite as hot, it's getting mid 90s and humid during the day, but that's all right. Yesterday I went to got my slice of pizza off of the Lido deck, and then took it to the bar that has stools in the water. You can dangle your feet in the water, and had a scotch and a pizza in the adult pool. Still use my no-name lemon when I'm on travel. Just a slight cover is all you need. Oh no, it's interesting, again, talking about details, just the amount of thought they put into stuff. I had known this and then forgot it, and was reminded kind of at an educational thing this cruise is that the first two ships they made, the first one had to be made in two halves because they were making two ships almost at the same time, and the shipyard didn't have enough space to do that, so the first one was made in two halves. I think they made the first half, something like that, pulled it out, and then they had space to start on the second one just all as one all together. They don't make them that way anymore, but because the first one had a big seam around the middle, they put a seam around the second one, even though it was all one piece, just so they looked the same. And it's like, if you weren't told that, you wouldn't notice that or care anything. But again, just the details that they put into stuff is amazing. So anyway, that's my shave. This happened last time. I thought of a bunch of stuff to say afterwards. If I do, I might sit back on the couch and add some more. Or at sea, so I'm not going to be able to upload this for a couple of days. Anyway, so there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed the pictures. Oh yeah, so stuff like so I have a few more things. The atrium is a little bit bigger. I love, that's one of the things I love about the Disney ships is the Art Deco styling. Like I said, they have 4 ships until not too long from now. They've got a 5th one that was already given over to Disney, is on its way over to Port Canaveral, and should start sailing soon. We're gonna sail that one next spring break. And I'm curious because from what I've seen, they've gotten rid of a lot of the Art Deco styling, which is what I like. I do not like cruise ships where you get on and you feel like you're in a hotel. I want to feel like I'm on a cruise ship. So, you know, before I showed some other pictures of the Art Deco styling, it's through the whole ship, especially very prominent in the atrium here. Again, the details, the forced perspective that they use at Disneyland to make things look like they're bigger because the tops of the buildings are smaller on Main Street at Disneyland. They do the same thing here. The decks in the atrium get smaller, the 3 decks, as you go up to make it look bigger. Yet they said that the columns there get wider at the top, so they look almost the same length, like you're going up super high. And that 3rd deck is where they put the kids club, so the ceiling's lower, so they kind of feel bigger and they don't feel like they're lost in. Anyway, just the thought about that stuff. They'd have the 2 bigger ships have the Midship Detective Agency, which is a cool thing you can do on your own. Oh yeah, there are a few more things to tell you about. So there's that. That you sign up, you get kind of a detective card, and then you get a map of other locations on the ship that give you a mystery to solve. And these are wall hangings that just look like you wouldn't know if you didn't know about this. And you go to one and you hold your car up, and all of a sudden the wall, the picture and stuff, just comes to life, and it gives you a clue to help solve this mystery. So you're going all over the ship doing something like that. We went to Disney Private Island, Castaway Cay. Yes, C-A-Y is pronounced Key. So that's what's funny, because Royal Caribbean has Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and they call it K because it would sound silly saying Perfect Day at Coco Cay, but that's the appropriate way to say it. And same thing, that if you're looking at cruising, you can look at Coco Cay and just big, huge water slides. It looks like an amusement park, stuff like that. You go to the Disney one, it's all about theming and styling, and it looks, the buildings are made in Disney style to kind of look like you're on a small island, and everything's kind of like huts and stuff like that. But they do have all the amenities. The rest of the family went paragliding this time. My wife and I got off early and did the 5K. I was going to bring the medal. Here, I'll post a picture of the 5K medal for you guys. That's free. They give that to you if you do the 5K. And just all sorts of stuff. They've got their own, what do you call those things? Stingrays. Except I think they don't have the stingers. And you can feed the stingrays, you can go snorkeling, you can rent bikes, you can rent cayuse, stand-up paddle, I like all that kind of stuff. The staff from the ship gets off and they do a barbecue lunch for you on the island. The ribs were awesome, fall off the bone, awesome. So there's that. We didn't talk about the private island last time. So anyway, I mentioned those differences before. If you want all of the stuff, all of the slides and the wave runner and they've got go-karts and ice rinks and all this stuff on these other big, huge ships. You don't get that with Disney. But like I said, we wouldn't use 90% of that stuff anyway. So we love the styling, we love the feel, we love the maintenance. Again, we pulled up we stopped at Nassau and pulled up, Carnival ship pulled up next to us. And you can see take a look. You see, there's no rust here. Not one bit. You pull up next to the Carnival ship pulled up, and you can see lines of rust along the whole thing. And that's just kind of standard, but you pull up next to Disney ship, pristine. Does it affect your cruise? Not physically, but again, shaving, watches, all that stuff, it's about the experience, right? The coffee, putting the time and effort into it. So that's what it's about. Paying for a different experience. Is it worth it to you? Don't know? See you on the forums.